Please do not take yourself off of mute.
Are you talking to me?
Anyone who is not the judge, please mute yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
It's very low.
It's really low.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we've been having some technical difficulties all day long. I'm going to try to talk in it. Is that a little better?
Yes, ma'am. That's much better.
Like my
That's
neck
better.
is going to hurt at the end of this, but I'm going to try to do this. Okay. This is the Orca A status calendar for Thursday, December the 8th, 2022. And we'll get started calling the calendar. First case on the calendar is Demetros Allen.
Okay, I muted it. Thank you so very much.
Say that again.
Your Honor, I believe that was not for Mr. Allen.
That was Wanda Jackson, Your Honor. I had to mute her again.
Oh, good. Thank you. I see she's on the phone. Okay. Demetros Allen.
Your Honor, the state would ask for a bench warrant. Mr. Allen was on a previous calendar and failed to appear for that calendar. So we would ask for a bench warrant.
All right. Bench warrant.
Thank you.
Trayana Bumpers. Trayana Bumpers.
Good morning, Judge, or good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Judge, we actually got an offer just about 20 minutes ago on this case. Additionally, we've got some discovery outstanding. It was filed in about 7 days ago. We just asked for a brief continuance so we can review discovery and get the additional discovery that's outstanding, Judge.
Okay. Looks like our reset date is it February 1st? Okay. It's February the 1st.
And one second, Judge. Yeah, I don't have any conflicts. That should be just fine, Judge.
Okay, February 1st at 9 a.m.
Your Honor, I apologize. Attorney Mubin, if you could, I know initial discovery has been uploaded. What else are you missing so I can get that to you?
I don't know if there's any video or not in this case.
Okay.
I haven't gotten that. We requested that. If
Thank
you can send that over, I'd greatly appreciate it. But I did get your offer. Thanks so much for sending that to us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Judge, that's all I've got. If I could be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, I have Dakota Carroll. Dakota Carroll.
Your Honor, we cannot hear Mr.
Okay.
Rexroth.
Right, our mics are really bad today.
He's here. We'd like to see the state's recommendation. It may have been sent, but it's not in the file.
It was sent. It was emailed, but I'd be glad to speak with you, Mr. Raffa.
All right, so we pre-trying, or are you going to send him that? And
I emailed it prior to today's court date, and I also emailed it to Mr. Raffa just about 20 minutes ago.
oh, okay.
Right when I was leaving.
right when he left the office, he said.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'll hold for a second on that one.
Thank you.
Sequan Alexander Cruz. Mr. Cruz.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I apologize. I I have that he is now represented by Mr. Scott Drake. And Attorney Drake has a leave of absence filed from December 6th to December 9th. So until tomorrow.
All right, so we'll reset that one to February 1st.
Thank you, Your Honor.
February 1st at 9 a.m. The next one is Alpha Diallo. Alpha Amadou Diallo.
Good afternoon, Judge Ray Giudice for Mr. Diallo, who is present. I see him in one of the squares. Judge, we filed some motions, particularized motions yesterday afternoon. So we'd like to go to a motions calendar.
Is that February 22nd or? Okay, we're gonna reset you to February the 22nd. That's the motions calendar. And
Can I assume that's,
make sure you appear in person for that calendar. That motions calendar I have, it says 11:30
oh, okay, 11:30, and that's in person.
in person, yes.
All right, well, thank you very much, Judge. May my client and I be excused.
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good to see you.
I have Enrique Edwards.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This case has been removed from the Orca calendar and will go towards, I'm sorry, Erica Marshall Story for the state. This case will be moved to the DUI calendar in state court. It can be removed from this calendar.
Okay, Mr. Edwards is here in the courtroom. And so he should be dismissed and he's going to be further noticed, or how?
Yes, it should be further notice and he should receive information from the DUI state court diversion program.
Okay, and so Mr. Edwards, are you represented by counsel? No? Not at the moment. All right, you need to make sure then that the clerk has your updated address and information so that you get the notices that will be forthcoming regarding court and switching you over to the DUI court or diversion type program. So when you leave here, step to the first floor to the clerk's office and make sure they do have your updated information. Sounds like they do, but it never hurts to check. And then that way you'll make sure you get the future notices. I don't have a reset date for you right now. It's going to be further noticed. Okay. All right. Thank you. You're free to go. Yeah. You're doing a program in Gwinnett for DUI, a different charge through Gwinnett. And this is, he is currently doing a program for the same in Gwinnett. I know it may or may not move the solicitors. Do you all want to exchange information so he can get you that information, or just wait to further notice him? I'll let the solicitors tell me what she wants to do.
At this point, Your Honor, obviously, Gwinnett and Fulton were both thinking the same thing based on the defendant's record. And so we would ask that this be further noticed so that it can be properly addressed, so that they're both Gwinnett and Fulton are on board with attempting to provide a diversionary type measure for the defendant as he addresses his charges in both Fulton and Gwinnett.
Okay, okay. All right, they will be in touch with you. Make sure at the clerk's office we have your correct mailing, and obviously we have your email, but just make sure that your contact information is updated before you leave today, and that way you'll get the information. Okay. All right. You go to the first floor. I'm gonna let the All right, thank you. Next case is Jordan Holmes. Jordan Holmes.
Your Honor, I'm not sure that the defendant is represented by counsel. The offer for the record is that by taking 12 months probation, $1,100 in restitution to the victim, Normani Clover.
Okay. Jackson.
Is the defendant on the Zoom call?
Let me sound again. Jordan Holmes. Oh, maybe not. No, no.
Then,
Jordan.
Your Honor, if the defendant is not on the call, the state is requesting a bench warrant.
All right, bench warrant. Next case, Christopher Jackson. Okay. Mr. Jackson's in court.
Your Honor, is the defendant represented by counsel? I do believe this case was set for him to hire an attorney.
And possibly take a plea is what my notes say. Mr. Jackson, what's the status? What's going on? Well, you were to come back, the clerk has it in the notes, you were to come back today with that attorney or take a plea. I'm not for sure. It's Marshall Story. Can you read him the plea offer? Put that in.
Yes, Your Honor, I can. The plea offer for Mr. Jackson, because this is a second DUI in 10 years, is a $600 fine, 12 months to serve, 72 hours in jail, balance probated, 240 hours of community service, the risk reduction program, alcohol drug evaluation and treatment if necessary, and 1 victim impact panel.
That is the state's offer at this time, Mr. Jackson. That's what ASG Marshall Story stayed at 72 hours. You want to sit down and think for a second? I'll come back to you. Okay. All right. Wanda Gale Jackson. Wanda Gale Jackson.
Your Honor, for the is Ms. Jackson in court?
She's on Zoom. She's trying to figure out how to unmute, I think. Ms. Jackson, see the little red microphone looking? Can you click that to unmute yourself? Ms. Jackson, can you hear me? Ms. Jackson, can you unmute yourself so I can hear you? See the red? I see her looking, trying to find the button.
Yes, I do as well.
Should it not be at the bottom of her screen, I think?
Well, she can't hear
Bottom
us,
of the
so I
screen.
don't know if anything we say will be helpful.
She should be able to hear us. She doesn't have a mic on. So if she can't hear us, then that's definitely going to be a problem as well.
We can't hear you, Miss Jackson, because your mic is still pressed in red there, with the line through it. You see that?
Your Honor, I can remove her and let her come back in to the Zoom, and hopefully she'll be unmuted at that point. How would you like for me to proceed?
We can remove you, Ms. Jackson, so that you can sign back in and make sure you sign in with audio. We're gonna do that, okay? And then sign back in. Oh, maybe she did. Did you do it? Or she did it? I don't know. Oh, Ms. Jackson, we're gonna kind of put you out of the Zoom or kick you out a little bit, and so you can come back in and sign in with audio so we can hear you, okay? I'm not good at reading lips. Go ahead and push her out, then maybe she'll get it. Okay. Mark Lee. Mark Lee. No, Mark Lee. Whose case is this?
It's my case, Your Honor. I'm not aware of the defendant having an attorney based on my last looking in Odyssey. I do have an offer for him, but if he's not on the Zoom call, the state will request a bench warrant.
There's an attorney listed on the calendar. I don't know if that's up to date or not.
Well, the attorney says Anna Gabriela Carrera.
Uh-huh.
I did attempt to send her the video, but I wasn't able to pull up her name in Odyssey. I'm sorry, on evidence.com to send the video. So I'm really not sure who this person is at this point.
Okay. And this has been on the calendar before, obviously. Or has it?
Your Honor, I would have to go back and look. There was an entry of appearance, and I thought she was with the PD's office. Is there a PD who might be able to add some additional insight into the name? It wasn't one I was familiar with.
Oh, he says he doesn't know her. Oh, there was an FTA at the arraignment on October 13th, the clerk says.
Nothing's coming up on the Georgia Bar member search.
So we can do bench warrant then if you would like, Ms. Marshall Story.
Yes, Your Honor, the state would request a bench warrant. I did attempt to locate the attorney. I don't recognize the name and wasn't able to move forward.
Okay. All right, we'll bench warrant. Joshua Lamastus. Joshua Lamastus.
Your Honor, this is a loitering and prowling case that would be part of the cases that have been seen on the calendar previously for speeding, drag racing. This one did appear on this particular calendar. The state has an offer, but if the defendant is not present, he was on the plea and arraignment calendar and did receive notice, as far as I understand, from the litigation managers. And in the alternative, if the defendant is not on the Zoom call, we would ask for a bench warrant.
All right, bench warrant. Michael Mark Lindo.
Good afternoon, Judge. Safisha Tembeka for Mr. Lindo. Your Honor, Mr. Lindo actually has a case pending before Judge Porter, and there was some conversation, I believe, with staff behind the scenes concerning transferring this case. So I wasn't sure. I mean, I'm here just because I believe because we're calendared, but I believe this case is going to join the other case before Judge Porter.
Okay, can you turn on your camera, please? Oh, okay. The file has been returned back to Judge Porter.
Okay, I apologize. I'm having some difficulties here. 1 second, please. Well, do you, so at this point, Judge, maybe we be excused then because the file has been taken to Judge Porter?
Yes.
Okay, thank you all so
It will
much.
be further, it will be further notice for court.
Okay, thank you so much. You guys have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Johnny Michael. Okay, he's in court. And do you have representation, Mr. Michael? Yes, they're here. You want to apply for services? All right, we'll let you do that and I'll come back to you once they tell me whether you qualify or not, okay? Okay. All right, Maya, is it Mangaya or Mangaya?
Mungai.
Gai, Mungai?
Mungai. Hello?
Yes.
Mungai.
Okay, can you turn on your camera, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm sorry to mispronounce your name. Are you?
That's fine.
Are you represented by counsel?
No, ma'am.
All right. Are you intending to get an attorney?
I just found out about it when I went to check the mailbox at my old house yesterday.
Do you want to see if you qualify for the services of the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, if she'll check her chat feature, I'll send her a chat.
She needs to check her chat or I should check my chat? Okay, yes, can you check your chat?
I need her to check her chat.
Yeah. You see your chat message? Miss Mungai, do you see your chat message? You're
She
muted.
responded, Judge. I'll give her a call during the break.
Okay, all right,
Can the state put an offer on the record?
yes.
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Sarita Gidea.
Yes, good afternoon.
The offer is 12 months probation, a theft prevention class, and restitution in the amount of $751.47 to Tokyo Valentino.
All right. You've heard the offer and I'll come back to you. See what
Thank you,
your
Judge.
announcement will be. And how are you getting the applications to the person for position 14? Are you all emailing it to her or?
No, Judge, I'll interview her verbally and fill out the application myself.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Wilson. I forgot.
You're
Sorry
welcome.
about that. Yeah, thank you. All right, Michael, Anthony Kirby Norris, Michael Norris. Michael Norris. Nope, whose case?
That is mine, Your Honor. He also failed to appear on October 13th, so the state will request a bench warrant.
All right, bench warrant. Lamar Poss.
The state issued a null pros about an hour ago to Ms. Redden.
Okay, so, all right, so that will be no pros. We have Theoria Rogers. Theoria Rogers,
I'm here.
okay?
Theoria Rogers, I'm on.
Can you turn on your camera for me?
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how do I work it. Okay.
All right. Miss Rogers, do you have counsel?
Yes, Karen Pass is my counselor.
Karen, last name again?
Pass.
P-A-S-S?
Pass.
Okay, where is she? Let's see. She's on here. Where is she today? Where's your attorney today?
Well, she's supposed to be present. I spoke with her secretary, paralegal, and I spoke with her 2 days ago, and she said she was informed, Ms. Pass, that court was today.
You don't have a leave of absence or anything filed, do you?
Excuse me?
No entry or no leave, leave of absence. I was talking to my clerk to see if we'd had any filing or an entry of appearance from her, which we don't have.
Okay.
You want to try to call your attorney first before I make a ruling?
Do I want to try to call her again?
Yes.
Yes, I will. Shall I go offline and try to call her again?
Yes.
Okay, so how do I do that? I had a problem coming online. Just click over?
You could mute yourself. Well, I guess if you're on your cell phone, maybe you can't. I'm not the best one to advise you about technical things.
I've helped her out, Your Honor.
Okay. Next, I have Marcus Stegall Sr.
Present, Your Honor.
Right. Okay, your case is going to be set to January the 25th
Yes,
at 9 a.m. I'm
it's
sorry.
gonna be emotions.
I'm sorry.
It would be, it's a motion was filed. Would it still be at 9 a.m. for a motion?
No, it's going to be 11:30 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
January 25th at 11:30 a.m. Right? Quantavious Terrell. Quantavious Terrell. Whose case is this?
That is mine, Your Honor. The state would request a bench warrant.
Judge, I believe Mr. Korn in our office represents Mr. Terrell. If we could just have a minute to reach out to Mr. Korn, I'm not sure why they aren't present, but if the court could circle back to that, we would appreciate it.
All right, we'll circle back. We'll hold. And I next have Anthony White. Anthony White.
The state would request a bench warrant.
Anthony Denard White. Whose case is this?
That is mine, Your Honor. The state would request a bench warrant.
Hello, Your Honor, I'm here. I couldn't mute it.
Oh, okay. Anthony
Couldn't
White.
get it to unmute. Yes, ma'am. I'm here. I got it. Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're charged with DUI, less safe and improper right turn.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what are you going? What is your announcement today for this case?
You talked to me, Your Honor?
Yes, I am.
We are on the last week already talked in the last appearance. I would just like to ask if it's possible for me to retain an emergency driver's license for work. I've already made a guilty plea.
Let me tell me this. Is this your first time in court or not, Mr. White?
No, ma'am, this is not my first time in court. I was just in court on October 13th.
Your Honor, his case was reset to speak with an attorney and possibly take a plea.
Yes, okay.
And I did try to reach out to him because there's no attorney of record. The number that was on file was not his phone number. I was unable to reach him.
850 number, ma'am?
No, sir. I doubt it was a 770-593. And then another set of numbers. But when I called that number, they said that was the wrong number.
That's my mother's. Now my mother's been dead for like 8 years. But anyway, I'm sorry, ma'am. Is there anything that I'm listening right now?
Well, and then did you look to see about him on the calendar? So you were here in October?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If I do this reset, it will be the last one.
No, ma'am, I'm not asking for a reset. I was asking about, is it possible for me to keep a license to get back and forth to work, Your Honor? Because it
Well,
could.
it depends. Whose case is this, Miss?
Sarita, get the ass. I can prepare the plea paperwork, Your Honor. Can you put your email address in the chat, Mr. White?
Yes, ma'am. To everyone, it says our date is to everyone.
Or you can just send it to me. It'll be under ASG Sarita Githea.
Okay, I see it now. Sarita. Okay.
Yes, hold on 1 second, okay?
Talk to Mr. White. How do I send it? Direct messages already. I'm new to this. What's the button that I messed it out? Send it. Can anyone help me? Andrea. I'm pretty literate, y'all. I'm sorry. I know a lot of stuff, but not the computer. I'm trying to send my email address to our prosecutor. How do I?
Do you have their
It's got everything, and I just need to send it.
Okay, so
What
But I'm saying.
hit enter.
We're going to reset you to February 8th, which is a final plea calendar. And so what you need to do is come in person.
Oh, I come in person.
Yep. February the 8th.
Okay, I've already sent the email address.
Right. Well, I know we have email because that's how you got the notice for today's court, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
But if we're going to take a plea or have any disposition on your case, you'll need to be here in person to sign the paperwork.
I understand.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. There's one more question about the lab. I just want to get that in there because it's important that I'm able to get back and forth to work with no problems.
Okay. What's that?
About the license. That's all I'm trying to. I understand everything else.
If you're gonna plead guilty, it's gonna resuspend you, but I cannot give you advice on that. That's why you need to get an attorney and talk to an attorney about it.
Okay.
Show them what your charges are, and then they can advise you if you plead guilty or what other type of dispositions we can take and what that impact will be on you.
Okay.
You need to understand what you're doing.
I
Pleading guilty.
I know that I'm not gonna argue with this. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's have you to come back February the 8th in person.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put that in the order. Don't get on Zoom. If you do,
Okay.
you know, we don't want to do a bench warrant and then
No, ma'am.
discuss it with the solicitors at that time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am. How is it possible for me to talk to a public defender?
If you think you're gonna qualify,
That's gonna be an issue.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can do it, but sometimes people have a clue and sometimes they don't, whether they qualify, but we can get you the application.
Please.
that
Your
Mr.
Honor, if Mr. White will check his chat box, I will send him a message and see if he qualifies.
PD Wilson's gonna send you a message in the chat now if you want to fill out the application and see if you qualify.
Thank you.
All right, and then if you do qualify, she'll come back on and talk to us. But if you don't qualify, we're resetting you to February the 8th.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right, so hold on and just keep checking your chat.
Christy,
Okay.
you see it?
And then we have an add-on, which is Andrew Strickman. Andrew Strickman.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Marissa Goldberg on behalf of Mr. Strickman, who is present on the Zoom. I have been in communication with the state. I think they sent me an offer. It was yesterday or the day before. I just want an opportunity to speak with Mr. Strickman about that and see if we might need motions or a motions date, or if he's going to resolve the matter. So if the court would allow us to be placed on a motions calendar and we can make that determination prior to that date.
Okay. Looks like that's gonna be February 22nd. Okay. At 11:30. And it has to be in person.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm resetting you to February the 22nd at 11:30 in person.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
And that's all I have. May we be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Jackson, you're back with us. Can you unmute yourself so we can hear you? Ms. Jackson, can you unmute yourself? You may end up missing your court date if we can't hear you. Ms. Jackson. Can't hear you, Ms. Jackson. Is there anyone else whose names I did not call? Miss Jackson has gone back out again, or she's been kicked out. We'll see if we can hear from her.
Did not remove her, Your Honor. She must have removed herself.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
All right, there we go. Miss Jackson.
Ah.
You did it. You did it. You did it. Okay. All right, Miss Jackson. You have an attorney?
No, ma'am, I do not. I'm my attorney.
Okay, you're gonna represent yourself?
I'm doing the best I can.
Okay.
I want my character to speak for itself.
All right. Whose case is this from the state?
I'm sorry, were you speaking to me?
No, I'm asking which prosecutors assigned to your case.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor, this is my matter.
Okay. And so has the state made an offer or where are we?
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you well.
Oh, has the state made an offer or where are we?
Yes, the state's offer is this the case of Wanda Gale Jackson?
Yes.
A plea to the simple battery, 12 months probation, 5 anger management classes, and no further violent contact with her daughter, Victoria Jackson. That is the state's offer.
Did you hear that, Ms. Jackson?
I did.
Do you want to take a plea today or what would you like to do?
What I want to say is that I care for people. I have care for my daughter. I am not a judicial person, but I am a law-abiding citizen, and I have been for all of my life. I have care for people,
Ms.
whether
Jackson, I
it's
need you to
corporate.
answer. Yeah, this is not necessarily your trial today, but I just need you to answer me and tell me whether you're going to plead guilty or not with the offer
Not
that was just
guilty.
given.
Not
Not
guilty.
guilty? Okay. So you want to go to trial?
If that's what is necessary, because I don't know about all this stuff because this is not me. I have not been in the system. And I do know that that is not of my character. From where I have been and from where I'm going, that is not my character.
Your Honor, is the defendant able to receive services from the public defender's office?
You think you can qualify? Would you like to do an application for the public defender's office? To
No,
represent?
ma'am.
You might want to get some representation.
I have all the representation that I need, not the defender's office.
From which office?
Not from the defender's office.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna hire a private attorney?
No, I am not.
Okay, if you're going forward representing yourself and you want
No, ma'am, I am not.
if you're rejecting the plea offer, then I will reset.
What is the plea offer?
You say that again, Ms. Marshall Story?
Your Honor, the
What
plea offer is on a plea to simple battery, family violence, 12 months probation, complete 5 anger management classes, which can be completed online, and no further violent contact with her daughter, Victoria Jackson, who is the victim in this matter.
I have been in touch with Victoria Jackson ever since she filed the charges against me. I have been paying rent, and no, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. I have never harmed my children intentionally. And I
Your
am not.
Honor, if we could please just put this case over for one time, and the state will try to address the issues.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
We're going to reset your case, Ms. Jackson,
Thank you.
and the state will reach out to you in the meantime, okay?
Thank you.
What's that reset date? Okay, can you hold for a second? We're gonna set you for a January date. Hold on a second, Ms. Jackson. Let me get the date, okay?
Okay, I want to get this behind me so I can move forward.
Okay.
Well, Your Honor, if the defendant is of sound mind in order to complete the anger management classes.
I don't need it.
Okay, all right, Your
I
Honor,
do
I'd ask
not
this
need
just be
it.
put over and the state
I
will
do
try to.
not. I don't need it. I don't need it. My character speaks for itself. I do not need it.
Okay, Ms. Jackson. I understand. I want you to calm down a little bit. We're gonna try to see if we can get you some services or some assistance.
Because I don't need it. No.
Can you come in person on January the 5th?
January 5th.
Right, can you come to
Yes,
the
ma'am, I
courthouse and come in
can.
person? Can you come to
Yes,
the
ma'am, I
courthouse and come in
can.
person?
Yes, ma'am, I can, but I don't have money to keep putting up for nothing.
Okay. We understand. We're resetting you to January the 5th to come in the courthouse in person so we can see how we can help you. But we'll need you to come in.
January to what? Will y'all send the information to me?
Yes, January 5th. We need to make sure we have your everything correct. I suspect we do. Did you get an email from us today or today?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Oh, you didn't get an email?
Not that I know of. I got so much stuff going on over here, but I know that I am not.
Did you get a notice from us in the mail?
I got a notice in the mail when I went today to the
Okay.
post office, but I don't need to be here. But I am here. And because
Right.
I am here, I'm going to address it. I have never hurt anybody.
All right, we understand. Well, can you, if you
No,
can
you
come down
don't.
on
No,
January,
you don't understand.
all right, I do.
I'm
We
trying to
asked you
get
to,
it better for me and my children, but I don't understand it. But I will not be abused by these children that I have cared for. And I have not harmed any children. And that's what I do. That's what I
okay,
do. I take care of people because I am a caregiver and I will not let this generation coming up after me tell me what I am to do and what I'm not to do. And I'm not talking about you.
okay. I understand, but I'm going to move along. We're resetting your case to January the 5th. So write that down, January the 5th, you have court
I'm writing it down right now, January 5th,
at 9 a.m.
5th, 9 a.m.
You have court.
Court.
Do you know where the courthouse is?
Is that the one that's on this paper that I received?
Probably.
Prior Street.
Yes.
Oh, and
Your
then the
Honor,
court.
Your Honor, the state will be issuing a no process. This should end this case.
State's gonna issue a no process. All right.
What does
This
that
will end this
mean?
case. I'll submit it
Good
to the
news
court.
What
for
does
you.
that
Thank you.
mean?
Right.
What does that mean?
They're gonna dismiss your case. All right. Isn't that good news?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I had to mute her so you could hear what she could hear what you were saying.
I want to make sure she.
I'll forward that no process to the court. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Hmm. Will you be able to tell her, Ms. James?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Miss Jackson, I'm going to send you a message in the chat. Just look at your phone, okay? Just look at your phone. I'll call you. I'll call you.
Okay, call her. Yeah. All right. They'll call you, Ms. Jackson. Have a good day, okay?
And Judge, whenever you're ready, I have 2 announcements for you.
Okay. I am PD Wilson. Go ahead.
Okay, position number 14, Miss Mungai. She did qualify for our services. I'm not sure who in our office will represent her, but we are asking for a reset date so we can get discovery and review that discovery with her.
Okay. So we can reset that. Reset that case to which date? Okay, now we go back. Right, February the 1st. I don't want to put the wrong date out there in the atmosphere. All right, we're gonna.
Is that 9 a.m.?
First at 9 a.m.
May Ms. Mungai be excused?
Okay, so we'll reset that to February 1st.
And then position number 20, Mr. White,
Okay,
he did not qualify, but he does want to take a plea. And so he is asking the court to reset him to a plea date.
okay. All right, and that will be February the 8th. Mr. White, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I hear you.
Yes, Mr. White, you'll have to come in person on February the 8th.
Yes, to the same courtroom, or I will get a letter.
Which courtroom? Is that gonna be G33? Right, it's gonna be G33.
Let me write this down. Okay,
Yeah, write that
G33.
down. So February the 8th at 9 a.m. in courtroom G33, and they will take your plea at that time.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
If
All right.
also, Mr. White, before you leave the chat room, could you please also put your phone number in the chat too, please?
Okay, let me do this. It says your name is Will Champ. Okay, to Miss Selena. Do you have it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Am I free to go?
All right. Yes, you're free to go. We'll see you next year, February the 8th.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Do you have anything else, Ms. Wilson?
Michael Ajani Tour.
I don't,
We
Judge.
can't
May I
hear
be-
you.
Oh, sorry, I do not have anything else, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Oh, she had one more. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I don't have any more, Your Honor. I don't think I do.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll let you go.
I appreciate that,
Good luck
Judge.
to you. If we don't see you again,
Thank you.
we'll run into you somewhere.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Oh, okay. I see Attorney Corn.
Yes, Your Honor. Can you hear me okay?
I can. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? I represent Quantavious Terrell.
Yes.
I messaged him, but the fact is, and this is my fault, I did not realize we had court today in this case, and I did not send him notice. I did not contact him before today.
Okay.
So what I'd ask is that you allow me to reset this case to the 5th, and I will have him there either on Zoom or in person, whatever the court chooses.
Okay. I'm sorry, it's February the 1st, Attorney Corn.
Okay, February 1st is fine.
Right, February 1st, 9 a.m. And that's the status calendar. By then, I guess if he's going to take a plea, they would have to be placed on a different calendar, right?
If we're able to work it out ahead of time, Judge, I'll make sure the paperwork's done before then.
Okay, that'll be.
And I'll
good.
have him there in person.
Okay, appreciate it. All right, so we will do that. February 1st is your reset date at 9.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Take care. All right, and who else do we have? Okay, Mr. Raffoff.
We can't hear you, Mr. Raffoff. We can't hear you.
Michael Ajani Toure, or Tour, Toure. I don't have the number. He wasn't on my calendar. He qualifies. We'd like to know the state's recommendation.
Okay. What number is it? Position 13. Oh, okay. It's backward. Which one is, so it's Michael Ajani? I think I may have said it backwards. Oh,
Oh,
Ajani
okay.
Michael. Okay. Got you. Sorry about that. And so he does qualify for
Yes.
services of the PD. State, whose case was this again? Which prosecutor?
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you, Your Honor. What was your
You're right, the
question?
mic is terrible. I have to bend over here. Whose case is position 13, Ajani Toure Michael?
That is my case, Erica Marshall Story.
Okay, they're asking for the offer.
The offer is public indecency, 12 months to serve 48 hours with credit for time served, balance probated, complete alcohol drug evaluation and treatment, and 40 hours of community service. I would like to add the defendant has a newer case, which is 22 CR 00435 The case was arraigned on November 2nd, 2022. There's no updated court date. Perhaps we can resolve both cases by either having them come into Orca or sending it back to the courtroom from which the newer case originated.
Is that also public indeed?
I did not realize at the time there was an attorney that I could have talked with this about previously.
Right, what is the charge on that one, Ms. Marshall Story?
The charge on that case, that I did not write down. Let me try to pull it up.
Okay, our clerk is pulling it up. Or my litigation manager.
The charge on the 22 CR case is simple battery and obstruction of obstruction of law enforcement.
Okay,
It stems from a July 6, 2022 case. Again, the plea and arraignment date was November 2nd of 2022 in front of Judge Dixon. And so I would suggest either that case come forward or we send this case to Judge Dixon.
sorry.
He said they told him at that court that they were gonna forward the case.
Oh,
But what I'll do is, I will take this.
I'm
case.
sorry, I can't hear.
yeah, they said they were going to run, when he was in Judge Dixon's, they claimed they were going to send the case to Orca to run them together, which was your suggestion as well.
Again, I'll represent him, I'll make an entry, and I'll check.
That's fine.
If we already got that case, you may already have it, I don't know.
Okay. They may already have it.
But I'll
Mr.
check that.
Rapberger will check. So we are resetting that to February the 1st as well, or tell me which one? You want to be back on a status
Yes,
calendar, you think?
please.
Okay. So let's reset that to February the 1st at 9 a.m.
And is this a status conference calendar?
Yes.
Thank you. And that's February 1st, 2022.
Is that in
Yes.
person?
Is that in person? I'm asking. It's a hybrid.
I would ask Attorney Raffoff, since the defendant is there in person, I understand there have been bouts of residential challenges. So I'll leave it up to Attorney Raffoff to determine with his client whether it should be in person or on Zoom.
Right, I think he says he prefers to be in person.
Yeah,
He was
the
in person
client
today,
said he-
was in person.
Yeah, the defendant said he would rather be in person.
Understood.
Okay. All right. So
Did you
that
get a
will,
notice?
do you have something to give him in writing? If he'll hold and then we'll give you, yeah. Yes. Okay.
That's just,
Okay. Ms. Riley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rapoff needs your contact info.
Yes, Your Honor. And Mr. Rapoff, it would actually be easier for me to call you because if you call me, it will block the number. So,
Our litigation manager is making sure she has it and she'll pass it along.
okay, thank you.
All right. And I'm going to circle back to let's see, position. Is it position 8? Christopher Jackson? Have you had time to think about what you'd like to do? Position 8, Mr. Jackson? Hold for a second. Yeah, come up to the podium. That's true. All right, Miss Marshall Story. I don't know if you could hear Mr. Jackson. His concern is he's kind of willing to take a plea. The 72 hours, obviously is problematic. He was asking if he could, try to do it after the holiday. And I don't know, maybe weekends, because he's trying not to lose his job.
May I ask, again, Mr. Jackson, that is position what on the Orca A status?
Yes, 8,
What position?
position 8.
Position 8. Yes, and the question is what?
On serving his 72 hours in jail that you proposed in your offer.
Yes,
know
well,
you
that
don't have
is
a lot of control over
statutorily
it.
mandated based on the defendant's driving history and this additional DUI. What I can do, Your Honor, is take a check really quickly if you want to move to some other cases and let me see how much time Mr. Jackson has actually served at this point.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what else we have. What about 17? I see Theoria Rogers. What were we doing with position 17?
I believe Ms. Rogers was trying to reach Attorney Karen Pass.
Yes.
Miss Rogers?
Yes, and I reached Miss Pass, and Miss Pass is asking me for way back to, 2 years ago. Miss Pass was paid to handle this case, and she's telling me she wasn't. She's telling me that I owe her, and now she's telling me we'll find all the receipts because she had a conference on the phone with me and my son from another case I had that she had got paid for, and then she didn't do the case. So we moved it over to this here case, and she's telling me something different. So at this point, ma'am, Your Honor, I don't know what suggested that we should do.
Well, I can't get involved in that, with
I
you,
understand.
and I can't advise you either. But let me ask you this, did the state give their offer on this case? I don't
Excuse
recall.
me?
Okay, the state has not as of yet given their offer on your case. Whose case is this?
Mine, Your Honor. The
Right, can you
offer
state for
is,
the record, the state's offer?
yes,
Okay.
it's 12 months probation and a theft prevention class.
Okay. Did you hear that, Ms. Rogers?
You say what, Your Honor?
Did you hear the offer from the state?
12 months probation in a theft prevention class.
That is correct.
Okay, is this one another class I have to take, or I've taken the class?
Oh, you already took the theft prevention class
Yes, ma'am.
for this case or another case?
For another case, which the case that Miss Pass was handling.
When was that?
This was just about 7 months ago.
Do you have any information on that? Was that in Fulton County?
So I took it online. It was, I don't know what county I was in.
Was it a Fulton County case?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so that was for a different county, different case. I don't know if the state would consider that. It was 7 months ago. But
It was in November, if I'm not mistaken.
okay. Any comment on that from the state?
I would have to look to see what the other charge was, Your Honor, and when it was before I could give a response to that.
Well, generally, each jurisdiction has their requirements or their things that they offer. So unless it was very, very close in time, generally they're going to want you to do what you need to do in their jurisdiction.
I understand.
As of right now, it would stand as the 12 months probation in the theft prevention class without further information on it.
Okay, so that's the state's offer, 12 months probation, theft prevention class. So what do you say to that?
I'm fine with that, but if I send over documentations, how will I communicate with the state in relating to this?
Well, they're gonna have your contact information. But right now, if you're going to take a plea, we're gonna reset you to the plea calendar.
Yes, ma'am.
Final plea calendar, and I'm sure they'll be in touch with you before that calendar to maybe get you the information to take the class prior to, and maybe you all can work that out. Is that correct for the state?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Rogers, if you could please place your email address and phone number in the chat to me.
I don't. Well, on this phone now?
Yeah, do you see the chat feature at the bottom?
Let me see. I see
Let me make sure you're not driving, are you? Have you pulled over?
Yes, I am. I'm about to pull over.
Oh, please don't even touch the phone. Pull over first.
Yes, ma'am. I have to come up
Please
off
pull
this
over first.
freeway.
I didn't notice earlier. I shouldn't have talked to you while you were driving. That's our policy.
I'm about to come up off the freeway, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, I pulled aside. I came up and pulled aside.
Yes. Okay.
I see participants that's on, and I
Next
see
to that, you see chat.
I see more. I don't see chat.
Click on more and then see if you see it.
Chat, yes.
Okay. There you go.
So I send you my email and my name and my telephone number.
Yes, ma'am.
PA, are you going to do her first and then she can send it to her first and she can respond to you? Are you able to do that? I think she's going to. Well, I see your email in the chat to everyone. I was trying to get you to just send it to Ms. Githier, but we see that now.
I put my telephone number and my email there.
Right.
Is there anything else needed of me to put there?
That's all that I need. Thank you.
Thank you.
She's going to get in touch with you. We're going to reset that to which calendar? So we're going to reset you to February the 8th, but you're going to have to come in person. Since we don't know what's going on with the attorney, that way you can either come in with the attorney if you work it out, if not by yourself, and then that way you won't, it won't prevent you from going ahead and entering into a plea pro se if you don't have things worked out with your attorney. But I'm going to put on here February the 8th at 9 a.m. in person, so that we
I
don't
understand.
waste any more time.
Okay, so
Okay.
February at 9 a.m.
February the 8th at 9 a.m.
in person.
Yes,
And this is for a plea.
correct.
Okay. All right. I'll still try to contact with Ms. Pass, but perhaps I don't. Perhaps I don't. I still come in at February the 8th at 9 a.m.
Right, unless you know, the only way, I guess, if you've talked to the prosecutors and we've worked something out, they've worked something out by then, but if not, that's the court date.
Well, Your Honor, how will I contact the prosecutors?
The
I'm gonna
solicitor's
put, I could put,
office
I
has a
I can put my,
general-
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I can put my information in the chat right now to Ms. Rogers.
Okay, she's gonna send you an individual chat with her
Yes, ma'am.
contact information, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. And after that, you'll be free to go until February the 8th,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
So I will receive a chat. I receive a text message or something.
Not a text message, but she's putting your number in the chat right now to you
And how?
specifically, a direct chat. You see that yet?
No, I look where I typed in that, but I don't.
Okay, she's gonna send it in a.
Oh, I see it, Your Honor. I see
There
it.
you go.
Thank you.
Okay, okay, all right,
Thank you, ma'am. I see it. Thank you.
all right. Okay. Take care,
All
and be
right.
careful.
You all do the same. Have a blessed day and a happy holiday.
All right, same to you. All right, ASG Marshall Story, you have any updates on Christopher Jackson? Can't hear you. You're muted. Oh, maybe she's not talking to me, huh?
I'm not sure if she can hear you,
Uh,
Judge Mincy.
ASG Marshall Story. Mr. Jackson is speaking to see if he qualifies.
I'm,
for public
I'm so
defender
sorry, Your Honor. Yes. What was that question?
On Christopher Jackson.
I'm sorry, I wasn't able to pull up the information. I actually did send an email to Michael Jordan. For some reason, I'm just not able on Odyssey to find the jailing account. So if Mr. Jackson is willing to accept the plea offer, I'm not sure if there are some other avenues, but I did try and again reached out to Mr. Jordan, hoping that perhaps he could see the jailing information. Is the defendant represented by counsel?
No,
Not gonna call
He is not.
Jack-
yes,
He, but he does have one question which y'all need to talk to him about. 72 hours.
right. Right, the 72 hours, we're trying to see about that. You know, sometimes I know the jail or the sheriff's, you know, the judge doesn't always have the authority to tell them how that should be done sometimes. Because
Yes,
it's based on a lot of other factors that are not in our control.
that is correct. If he served at least 24 hours, then I do believe they're not going to book him in. So if he wants to take the plea today, I think we can move forward, but I would feel really comfortable with knowing how much time he's actually spent in jail.
Right. So my litigation manager is going to look for you real quick.
He said
Okay,
December-
thank you. And I'll continue to look also, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
he said after December 20.
Yes, he does say after December 26th, he wouldn't have a problem doing the 72 hours. But they're gonna look to see, do you recall, you served a day? Okay, you at least served a day. So it looks like if he served a day and we confirm that, he would now be down to 48. Okay, Ms. Marshall Story. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just not going to tell you that I can set it up with the sheriff that way. Um, mm-hmm. Ah, there's a different one. Oh, East Point. Okay. Marshall Story. Yeah. He can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I can hear you, Your Honor.
Okay. He served that one day in the East Point City Jail. So
Well, statutorily, I'm not sure if we can move forward, but if the court has an additional remedy, if he wants to take the plea, if he steps in, it's my understanding, it's generally 2-for-1. Perhaps Mr. Jordan can add some additional assistance. I'm really not sure. I'm happy to move forward with the plea, but just not sure how we do that.
yes, I don't want to mislead him and say you can serve this on the 27th and 28th or certain days. I guess I could put it in an order. I just don't want, him to lose his job.
I don't either, Your Honor. I do not. But
Your Honor.
Okay. So
I believe Ms.
understand that
James is
the
trying to
different
speak.
court date, we put in the order that they could serve it on the weekend after a certain date.
I was going to say, Your Honor,
Yeah.
if he serves, according to Mr. Jordan, if he surrenders himself on a weekday, it will be 2-for-1. If he surrenders himself or on a weekend, a Saturday or Sunday, he's going to serve those 3 days.
Okay.
So if he's in the courtroom and can surrender himself today, would he be released tomorrow? No. I'm
No,
saying
no.
no.
Because they've got to have the time to book him in. So it would have to be the beginning of the week per se, or not a Thursday, I'm guessing.
Well, I do see there's a message that he can surrender himself after the holidays and the jail can figure that out. I'm fine with that and I can send over plea paperwork if he wants to move forward in that direction.
Okay. I got it. I'm getting some information in my chat as well. Well, yesterday, I think they did it on January 6th. It wasn't the end of December, but if I write it in the order, oh, if you do it Thursday, you can still get a 2-for-1. So if the state is okay with us doing a specific date for him, then we can put that in the order. What say you, ASG Marshall Story? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. You're muted. Still can't hear you.
Can you say it one more time, Your Honor?
I'm sorry.
Your suggestion?
Oh, my suggestion was we can put it in the order that he will surrender himself by a certain date. And if you're not willing to give him credit for the 1-day time served, then
No, I'm fine with giving the credit. I
okay.
have no problem with that. Yes, I have no problem with that.
Okay. So then if we do that, he's 48 hours, 2-for-1, and we can say a date that he can surrender himself by, December 26th, 27th, whatever date's going to work for you. And as long as that's a weekday, you'll get the 2-for-1. So I don't know, just trying to see what the state is amenable to doing.
I'm amenable to that, Your Honor, since the defendant is showing that he is willing to take responsibility for this particular act and move forward with it. The state will move forward as we can, since the defendant is willing to take responsibility for his actions today.
Right. Okay. So are we able, he's here in person, so we can
Yes.
do the plea paperwork.
Yes, I can forward the plea paperwork over. I can do that.
Okay.
Is that what the defendant wants to do? I'm not able to see him. I see a large view, but I can't see the defendant.
Oh, you can't see him?
Well, more so, if he had an attorney, of course, we could work all this out, but because he does not, I am amenable to everything that can move this plea forward.
Okay. Can you see him at the podium? No?
I can see him at a far view. I just can't actually see him.
His face.
I do believe I can see him. Is that him in the suit?
Yes.
Yes.
Miss Marshall Story, would it help if you did a speaker view?
Well, I mean, either way, I just need to know that he is comfortable with taking this plea. I am very uncomfortable in the fact that he does not have representation by counsel and want to make sure he understands by taking this plea, because it is a second and 10. These are the statutorily prescribed by the legislature what the sentence needs to be.
Right. And we're always hesitant too when it includes jail time to take it without advice of counsel. But that will be up to you if you want to represent yourself. I mean, I find you to be competent and able to take a plea.
I have one suggestion, Your Honor. I think it will make everyone sleep a little better at night. Can the defendant have another date with the court explaining to him what the plea recommendation means, and that he is willingly taking that, and he understands if the court is willing to do that.
Okay. All right, and what date would that be? That would put him into February? And I get the sense where you're trying to do it over the holiday to not take time off work or,
I'm here today, and basically, next year I'm gonna set.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
I'm coming up on 10 years at Yamaha.
yeah,
Finish that.
right. So did you hear that, Ms. Marshall's story?
I couldn't hear any of that. My
Oh,
apologies.
wow.
I couldn't hear any of
Stated
that.
that he's coming up on 10 years at Yamaha with his job. He's used up all his vacation for this year. So in January, it resets and rolls over. So I guess he could take those days that he needed.
Well, then, Your Honor, can we put this case over until January with the understanding the defendant is willing to take responsibility and his dates would roll over and he can take the time to make sure that he actually completes the time that the legislature has prescribed for a second intent offense.
Yes, we can do that. So that's what we'll do. And then that way you'll start over and you can kind of schedule it around your vacation days. We'll put in the order what we need to put for the sheriff's department, for the jail. The next plea calendar is February the 8th. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna put you in January. Yeah, we're waiting on to see what date, which calendar we can put you on. I'm sorry, she told me that and I forgot that fast. Mm-hmm.
And additionally, Your Honor, I would like to say that if there is a change of heart, this plea offer, the current one, which is still the minimum, based on the defendant's record, will no longer be available. If for some reason he changes his mind with moving forward with the offer that's been extended on this particular date of December 8th, 2002.
Gotcha. He understands. He said.
All right.
I responded, Ms. Franklin.
And yes, Mr. Jordan did respond back. So it has only been 24 hours.
Okay.
Did you see your chat, Ms. Franklin?
Okay. January the 11th.
So that means on January 11th, plea paperwork will be available for the defendant to sign, and he'll be prepared on January 11th to be taken into custody. Is that correct?
I guess, well, I don't know. I'll ask Mr. Jackson, are you prepared to do it that day, or you want it scheduled on that day?
What day does that fall on?
That's on a Wednesday.
That is fine.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Wednesday, because I'm not sure if we're gonna be scheduled on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay. All right. So, we'll leave it at January the 11th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So he's prepared if he needs to turn himself in that date to do that on January the 11th.
Okay, and I should have the plea paperwork sent to the court so it can be presented to the defendant and he can sign.
Okay. All right. That's what we'll do.
Thank you, Your
And-
Honor.
All right, January 11th. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
All right. You too. All right. You too. All right. Is that our last case? One more?
Carol,
Oh, let's
number
see.
5 on my calendar. Dakota.
Number 3 for us. Okay.
Final plea or
Okay. That'll be a plea, final
Yes.
plea. Okay. Is that February 8th? All right. We'll set that down for a plea on February the 8th. Whose case is this one?
This is mine, Your Honor, ASG Riley.
Okay.
And if I could just add for the record, for Mr. Carroll not to drive himself to court on February 8th, as his license will be taken at that time.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, if we could just reconcile the calendar.
Right, that's February 8th at 9. Yes, Mr.
You all hear me okay?
Yes, I can. I'm not.
I don't, can you, Miss Marshall Story?
Yes, I can hear.
Our mics are the worst. in here.
Right, everything's really low today.
Well, G40, I think is not up to date like G33. So you see me, I'm having to do this because my mic won't even stretch. And so I'll probably have a sore neck by the end of today. All right, we're ready.
Position number 1, Allen FTA bench warrant. Position number 2, bumpers, reset status calendar, February 1st at 9 o'clock. Position number 3, Carroll, final plea calendar, February 8th at 9 o'clock. Defendant not to drive to court because his license will be taken. Position number 4, Cruz. There was a leave of absence filed, reset for the status calendar, February 1st at 9 o'clock. Position number 5, Diallo, reset for the motions calendar, February 22nd at 11:30 to appear in person. Position number 6, Edwards. This case will be removed from the Orca division, moved to DUI State Court Diversion Program. Position number 7, Holmes FTA bench warrant. Position number 8, Jackson. Final plea, January 11th at 9 a.m. Defendant to report in person and be prepared to turn himself in. Position number 9, Jackson. There was a null process sent in by ASG Marshall Story. The null process has already been signed. Position number 10, FTA. Defendant's last name is Lee. Bench warrant. Position number 11, Lamasitus. Last name spelled Lemastus. First name Joshua. FTA bench warrant. Position number 12, Lindo. Case was returned back to Judge Porter. Position number 13, last name is Michael. Reset for the status calendar, February 1st. Defendant to report in person. Position number 14, Mungai. Case was reset for a status calendar, February 1st at 9. Position number 15, Norris, FTA bench warrant. Position number 16, POS. Case was null process. That null process already been signed. Position number 17, Rogers. Reset for the final plea calendar, February 8th at 9 to report in person. Position number 18, Stiegel. Case was reset to January 25th. Motions calendar at 11:30. Position 19, reset to the status calendar, February 1st at 9. Position number 20, White. Reset final plea calendar, February 8th at 9. Defendant to report in person.
Miss Redden, there was also the add-on calendar.
Yeah, hold on a second.
There's one position on the Orca A add-on calendar. Position number 1, Strickman. Reset to a motions calendar, February 22nd at 11:30 to appear in person.
All right, any other questions, corrections, or anything? Nope.
No, thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a good afternoon.
You
You
too.
as well. Thank you.